literally you have no choice to just learn different culture and meet more people, and even if you're from like a very far remote area that you never met anyone in your life, if you get a bike and you travel with a bike, you're going to quickly realize how that's helped you to really change your point of view on the world. Yeah, when we landed again in South Africa, basically instantaneously you can feel the special vibes of the country, of the continent, and especially Cape Town. I forgot how beautiful the place was, I forgot how diverse the people are and how crazy the colors are. It's like a slap in the face with all those different emotions. So yeah, it was from the first minutes we were here was really like it was the right place for this exploration trip, for these adventure trips and for this cultural trip too. It was kind of a no-brainer to come to South Africa with Sam Reynolds because he's doing his own event in South Africa. South Africa helps him a lot too, so we were both in the same position with a special connection with South Africa. So surprisingly, the mountain bike scene in Cape Town, it's super developed. It's amazing how organized it has become the last few years, especially with all those private farms, winery building their own trail, and it becomes like a big network of a trail park.
There's a lot of very skilled riders, but also some super skilled track builders. Near Stellenbosch, where we are riding, there's some of the most fun tracks I've ever ridden, all with amazing scenery and yeah, just a great place to go ride.
So in South Africa and specifically the Western Cape, we're very lucky to have farm owners that are allowing us to be on their land. They see the positive impact us as mountain bikers have. Like this one, we're building trails. We help manage it, market it and maintain these trails, and then hopefully provide some sort of income to the farmer. And also we're on his land, so we kind of have an eye out in case there's any bad things happening, stuff like that. So there's a really big movement on the big wine farms to increase business to their farms, so get more feet to their farms to taste the wines for tourism, and they're seeing mountain biking as one of the main focuses.
Adventure to me, it doesn't necessarily have to be climbing to the top of an epic mountain or finding a cool waterfall or whatever, which those are amazing, but I think any adventure just starts from when you leave your house. The best adventures are the ones that aren't planned, you know, where you don't really know where you're going, but that doesn't matter, and whatever you find is a bonus. That's my favourite kind of adventure. Meeting more people, getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of where you plan and seizing the opportunity to do something different. And this spirit of adventure, I think it can happen anywhere. It can happen obviously at the top of the mountain when you want to go and push your bike further to reach that top. But it can just happen really on the parking lot when you have someone, foreigner, that comes to you and talk to you, and that you start to have a chat, and you end up like changing your plan and going to a new place, meeting new people, and that's the spirit of adventure to me. It was a good coincidence that we met Ewald, one of the local photographers. He knows a lot of trail, has been shooting a lot of places, and we kind of just were following him through some of the best spots, and also we were trying to get away from some of the mainstream plan, and it was cool to have him to really be part of the trip and show us around. Definitely not a morning guy.
My whole body is just in strike against this early mission. It must be hard, eh? Yeah, to be honest, sunrise, it is not my thing. I like a good sleeping. It is also part of the spirit of adventure to go catch a sunrise, because it's something that I never do in my normal life. Hazelfontein, I mean, this is for me really the far west of South Africa. There is this cool farmer, Dion, that welcomes you with his motorbike. He takes you around with his pickup truck and show everything is done on his property, from mountain bike trail to motor trail to lake, and this liberty, the space, and no worries, and really also the vibes, and being also close to the nature and in the middle of nowhere. Riding on the golden hours from sunrise to sunset on one of the most beautiful places in the world, that's really, I mean, make me open my mind of how beautiful this planet is. It's a mixed emotion in between being super excited, I wanted to catch the light and make some great action, and also contemplating the view is just like, yeah, we can see it turns everyone crazy, from the camera crew to the riders and to everyone. So yeah, that's super special. Asia, to Europe. It is more than just cooking meat. I think it's really a spirit of a bit of Africa and having something simple to share. So yeah, I think it represents the best South Africa, and I think it's what everyone agrees on. A good braai.
That's more our culture than the English though. English people will braai on charcoal or gas. No bueno.
Yeah.
If you get an Afrikaans guy that cannot braai, something went wrong.
Yeah. For this trip, part of the trip was coming back to see some of the spots we knew with some friends. One part of the trip were also going out of our comfort zone, exploring, going to some places we've never been and a little bit out back. And one part was also just meeting some friends from Sam, and we got super lucky to meet these kids, Hike, who is 13 years old, living on a big farm with a really cool father that basically helped him to build a lot of tracks in his backyard to have fun and also, I guess, train to do some races. Clearly, it's super cool to see that this kid is really just so passionate about bikes, super nice, and just enjoy everything, and still is so keen to ride his trail on the backyard 1,000 times with us.
I'm originally from Holland, but I'm born and live in this beautiful place, South Africa. This bike park comes back from a long way. We started with a small motocross track when I was young because I used to do a lot of motocross. Well, I started off with go-karting and then I moved to motocross. And I started becoming into cycling, so I love cycling. And then I went to downhill. We got a trail builder and he built like a whole nice, really sick long downhill track. And then from then we started building a lot of downhill tracks. All the craziest lines ever built, and I've never seen any bike park like this in South Africa. It's like one of the coolest bike parks I've ever seen in my life. And I can't believe it's at my house, like, it's crazy. Today my dream is to become a pro downhill mountain biker.
If you could picture the dream life of a kid, that would be Hike. We all have started mountain bike just because we were kids and we wanted to play around on something cool. But as we grew, I think everyone realized that this is just more than a transportation or fun activity. It's really something that helps you open your mind on the world, that gets you to meet different people, And yeah, in the end you realize this is like a super powerful tool just to get people together.
Yeah! Hey, buddy, where's your brake?
They control one wheel at the front, and that's how they...
That's the spirit.
I live in Camelbak. Camelbak is a very interesting community. Most people are doing sport, but definitely not cycling. It's a soccer or rugby or netball. People before, they didn't really know anything about it. Even myself, I didn't know that you can race with a bike. But like now, like we've got so many people who wants to join cycling, who wants to take their kids to our organization. So it's really interesting at the moment compared to before, where people didn't know anything about it. I'm here for almost 9 years, so I'm more like I was born here. I did quite a few races, even in Europe. I did 3 World Championships. Now I'm working for Songo full time.
The program initially started with Songo Fapaza, who was wanting to introduce cycling into Kayamandi. And at that time that he was interested in doing that, he met Christoph Salzo, who was looking to ride under a banner Absa Cape Epic. And with them discussing and meeting each other, they decided that they would create an organization that they would fundraise to build a BMX track in Kayamandi.
If you from communities like Kayamandi, it's difficult to grow. So sport can really change your life, I think. It will be difficult to go to university or be who I am now. So doing sport made a huge difference. So it's pretty much the same as our kids as well. We give them more opportunities that the parents won't be able to give them. And if Christoph and Songo, they can do it to me, then why I can't do it? So I just have to make sure that it grows. Like they changed mine, so I have to make sure that it continues. And the only way to make sure that it continues is to do exactly what they did and try and get more opportunities for the kids.
And our end goal is to ensure that every single child that comes through our program into tertiary studies is then employed and has a job. And that way they then give back into the community to improve the entire community and not just the individual. It's great to have the kids riding, but if they're not getting through school and they're not having educational support, then where their future would look quite bleak. So the plan is to really kind of provide a safe space for the kids to play, as well as providing them with the brightest future that they can have. And I think there's so many lessons that kids can learn through riding, you know, the dedication, the hard work, perseverance, and also it's just fun, healthy activity for kids to be kids.
We know that we're already super lucky to have our passion as a job, which means riding mountain bikes around the world. But when you come to South Africa and you see really how people are struggling to live, we're not even talking about doing their passion. It's really like a slap in the face to remind us that we're super lucky to live our dream to explore the world on a mountain bike. The day we decided to come meet them, they had a little BMX race. We were super happy to be able to watch the race, watch those kids race each other, but also have fun. And then it was cool to see the other township kids that were not part of the program coming and watch and be part of just the experience. And yeah, it's pretty amazing how those kids are racing and what level of commitment there is.
BMXing isn't really big in the Western Cape. All kids love to race against each other and compete. So what we thought is we'd set up a series of BMX races where we open it up to the public and to other organizations to bring their kids and just to provide a platform for the kids to race against each other. And of course, you know, the kids that are very competitive, they race, and then for other kids, they can just have fun and play.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
travelling to different countries with my bike is definitely important, because you never really go on like a holiday. You kind of just go to ride your bike there, and that brings you across all sorts of things you'd never find if you didn't take your bike. Like, I've met so many cool people and so many good spots and seen some amazing scenery and stuff that I wouldn't have been able to walk to, and just riding a bike there makes it even more fun, you know. It's not just the riding that's cool, it's everything in between that your riding brings you to.
Basically, we wanted to come back to South Africa because it's where it all started 10 years ago. We have started our team in a little town of Pietermaritzburg, and we had a lot of help from the locals, from the community, and since that time our organization, our rider, our team become successful internationally, and I think it was time to come back and give back what we could to help South Africa riding scenes, especially for the kids. Bikes and clothes and gears, everything we gave to the association come from our race team. We always have the best of the best from our sponsors. Those products are changed every year, and sometimes we have overstock because it's racing and you always have to have spare parts in case you have a problem. And at the end of the season we realize we always sit on big overstock sometimes, and on some used products that can be still used by someone. It used to be Andrew Nisling favorite bikes. I hope Andrew is not too sad, but yeah, basically, you remember the first program we had?
That is the first one of it.
It's been donated and some of it is new.
Yeah, some of it, like actually it's like old Tracy and helmet. Sometimes it's, you will see like the name of the guys on it, they have worn it a little bit.
It was wicked to go ride with those boys and see just how much fun and pleasure a simple bike can bring to everyone. I mean, yeah, it just made me, of course, remember how much freedom a bike gives you and what a great thing it is for everyone.
It's really obvious that when you come to South Africa, the country has a lot of problems, and it's obvious that when you speak to people there is a lot of problems going on, but as always it's easy to get trapped focusing on the negatives, when on the other side there's so many cool people and good people that are really changing this country for better. It's really amazing to see how mountain bike, I think, is really making people better, or making people to the same level. I don't know, there's no rich, there's no poor, there's just basically people riding bikes and sharing the same passion. And when you take out the background, you just realize no matter what, if you ride with Ike, his kids on his private track, or if you ride with some of the Songo kids on a BMX track in the middle of the township, it's definitely just the same experience. We all kind of kids playing and riding bikes and just having fun. When I get to the top of the track, when I get to the top of the view, if it's just for riding for myself when I'm alone, or even if it's just for filming, I always have this kind of couple of seconds where I'm like, wow, do you see how far mountain bike takes you? This is like always the same. I'm actually really thousands of kilometers away from my home riding bikes. It's pretty crazy. I think for us this trip was really representing well the country. It had the same effect as what the country really is. So It was really opening our mind on the sense that we had our hearts broken with some of the situation we've seen. It was also amazing seeing all those really nice people wanted to change things, amazing scenery. So in the end, really this trip was a true adventure. So we got out of our comfort zone and we discovered new places, met new people. We've seen amazing nature that we never thought existed. I think we left a little bit better person than we arrived.